Good morning, lovers of life, on this white rhythmic dog day, 6th day in the serpent wave spell. We are organizing, balancing equality with, through, of, by heart, love, loyalty. And all of it is part of the rhythmic organization of vital force, instinct, survival instinct, surviving our instincts, updating our instincts, love, loyalty, heart. We're self-guided, guided by the dog, and self-love. I mean, an inexhaustible topic. If we're talking of frequency, what does it mean? Self-respect, knowing the self. What self is there to love? What self are we? What self is the other? In Lakesha Lakin. I am another yourself. You are another version of me. I don't know, whatever. I'm not getting the direct translation right. We have the moon in the analog, the sun in the occult. Like with the storm has the moon and the sun, and the dog has the moon and the sun. The moon is part of the storm's earth family, the dog is part of the sun's earth family. And then we have the monkey in the occult on tone 8. So this combination of 6 and 8, rhythmic and galactic. And the galactic tone being harmonized model integrity. The integrity of the child, the integrity of our development, the divine child being the divine seed within us, who we are, where we've come from, who we're yeah, whoever is the divine child in time. That doesn't make sense to me right now, because that is an eternal thing. But as far as child is concerned, a child is a developmental stage, usually considered, I was going to say premature, pre minus mature, because if as adults we are mature, the child is the not yet mature, but the child is the stage it comes before. It's the idea is to retain the inner child, to keep it alive, that innocence, that wonder, that way of being without preconceived ideas, the ability to meet life on its own terms and not yet jaded or full of, intentions, like, what is the word I'm thinking of? Agendas. And children are so close to the ego-free state, able just to radiate their own light, and their own light is the same as the divine light, the divine child, inner child. Children are born, surely, there's like some sort of personality, some sort of karmic aspects that come in with the child, but there also still is a lot of malleability, a lot of openness, a lot of open heart. The chakras are still open. The crown on the head, this, what's it called? The bones of the head up there are still open. The bones are still softer. So before things set, and how much child can we retain, and how much can a child maintain its own integrity? How often is that bugged up? And the relationship between the monkey and the child is always the same. Between the monkey and the dog. Love, loyalty, heart. magic play illusion, there's a very, very significant relationship there. And the analog moon and tomorrow's analog dog, they just switch places. It's incredible. I love this. I love this. The flow. We're back to this ever present theme of the flow of what? Truth, love, light, authenticity. Yes, we have social, why are they social constraints? Why do I want to say social constraints? How can we live with each other and in honor and respect of our individuality, of our community, of our of personal and collective needs? And to be authentic, to authentically, to allow us to really raise children, to allow them to get to know themselves appropriately, which may include any inappropriate, whatever, who decides what that is? Oh God, this is so complicated to speak about this. For me right now. And we're in the wave spell of the serpent, not to forget. Now this relationship that the occult is always the monkey to the dog and the dog to the monkey. So that relationship, and the sun is always attached in the antipode to the dog, and the dragon is always attached in the antipode to the monkey. But depending on the wave spell, they change position and it changes their meaning. So today and in this wave spell, we're on tone 6, rhythmic, heart, the heartbeat. Somehow this, it's incredible. I posted it yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I should play you the melody. I'll play you the melody later. Maybe I'll forget it today. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, go refer back. I didn't check this link out. I have to say, I am assuming it's the same guy about the water. It's I think the clip is called The Sound of the Soul or something. I haven't had time yet to check it out. I know I've watched some of his work in German, and I'm deeply moved by it. So he has made this apparatus that shows you, that translates heartbeat into music, into melody. And then you listen to the melody of your own heartbeat, and you kind of like, it opens your heart. And then you can hook up 2 people or so to this, and then and then 2 hearts. It's not composed. You can listen to the melody, the music. 2 hearts make together. That just moves me so deep. My whole body is like responding right now as I speak about this, because it's so significant. And we're constantly doing that. We just don't have the biofeedback systems like this. And how does this affect us, the hearts around us, and how we are tuning into them? And when we pick up that our heart is not well, but there's nothing we can do about it, or the person isn't aware of it, or we can't help them, they can't help themselves, whatever the case may be, and it gets denied, how do we, I don't know, how are we healthy? I can make very direct examples out of my own life. And maybe my heart, I'm thinking out loud now, my heart has the wisdom to know how to be healthy itself, even though it may be surrounded by very unhealthy. But if that happens in early childhood, that's like, there's entrainment comes in, and how does that not shape me set me up for a life where the minute I subtly perceive similar patterns in someone else, it triggers a safety response? Or what if my safety response is permanent? The rhythm, the rhythmic tone, always it underlines the importance of rhythm. So if you breathe in, you breathe out, the rhythm of our breathing, I mean, gosh, yeah, we have a lot of that teaching. It's reached the Western world. Other cultures have always had it, or had it for much longer. The importance of how our breathing rhythms and depths and what, holding the breath, oxygen deprivation, all the pros and cons for all these things, and what it does and how it influences our body and how we can consciously influence our body. Our heartbeat is maybe a bit harder to influence, but this man's biofeedback system with music is like really, you can see immediately how you influence your heart. And if we have instinctual self-protective mechanisms, fight, flight response, all of that, those are meant to kick in when needed and then to be released and relaxed again. If we're in constant stress mode, yeah, we know all about the consequences of that as well, and how it wears out the heart. Or, yeah, broken heart syndrome, all of that. The importance of heart health. And in the future, humans, I believe many of us will be very, very aware and very, we may not, I don't know if we can improve the kinds of parents we are, but I think we can definitely, it's easier and more neutral to change the school system, for example, and to teach children in school already at a young age biofeedback systems, meditation, tuning into the self, becoming more physiologically self-aware, sensing the body, sensing the responses within the body. Most children at an early age have those senses, but we don't, I mean, we have to learn to understand what are we sensing. And if we grow up in an environment that is completely numb to itself, completely unaware of its own responses to life, nothing, I grew up in that world, nothing and no one taught us our biological biofeedback system. My body's response to things, my body is like a barometer, like a measurement device. It measures air temperature, it measures air pressure, it measures heart rates of others, it measures brain waves of others. We have receptors for everything. We receive all that. We send and receive. And if we don't understand that or know how to use it or know how to interpret it, instinctually we react, obviously, but it's much more interesting and useful to be aware and to be self-aware so that we don't have to act out or have other people compensate for us. And often our children take that weight. So self-love, the absence of it is very, very easy to see. And for a lot of us in the Western world, especially maybe women, I don't know. I grew up in a world where self-love, I mean, that concept didn't exist, yeah, but what the concept that did exist was vanity. And it was the fear of vanity. Oof, I have to be careful. I'm going into a topic that triggers anger, not to say rage. The fear of vanity was one of those that suppressed a sense of healthy self-respect and a healthy sense of, a natural sense of beauty within us, especially as girls. Like the minute you just enjoyed yourself physically and felt maybe beautiful, maybe you had a beautiful dress on, usually, I mean, whatever. It didn't even need to be said, but that, like, don't you dare, don't you think you're special, don't you be vain. And this indiscriminate, it just shuts down aliveness. It really, it instills self-depreciation, deprecation, what's the word here? Devaluing oneself. Because if any kind of healthy self-valuing is equivalent with vanity, and you don't even know as a kid what that is, you just know it's not approved of. That's a bad thing. And if you don't get precisely explained what exactly is the not good thing, anything that you assume goes into that box. And to come around as an adult trying to untangle whatever's got stuck in that box, I mean, thank you, death, for relieving us from our entanglements. Regularly, rhythmically, to the sun in the sun wave spell. No, to the dragon, the first wave spell. For the sun, the white word bridger death is resonant. Oh yes, for the dragon, mama, nurturing, being number one, the beginning of everything, whatever, death is rhythmic. So for being, in order for being to function, regularly, rhythmically, death needs to happen. One way or the other. Many kinds of deaths, right? So for the serpent, rhythmic heartbeat, rhythmic love, rhythmic self-love, rhythmic, it organizes, it keeps health going, eating rhythmically. But that doesn't mean, some say 5 meals a day, 5 small meals a day. Others say, no, 3 meals a day. Others say, no, 2 meals a day. Others say, no, 1 meal a day. Others say, no, just stop eating altogether. I mean, we get to explore it and then figure out what works for us. This prescribing at all times, like, I'm so tired of it. I'm sorry. I prescribe to you to find out for yourself what works for you. And you know what? It may work now, but not tomorrow. For a while, it might be really cool not to have breakfast, or to run off on a cup of coffee, or to only eat, intermittent fasting, or whatever. And another period in time, it's like, no, man, my nervous system now needs a breakfast. And I need some sort of regular, rhythmic 3 meals a day type of story. And then in time, that's like, no, don't need that anymore. And to stay flexible with the rhythms, with the changing rhythms, but to be present. The wizard in this way, I mean, the wizard is attached to the serpent, right? It's the analog. It's the most like itself. Best friend, support, is receptivity. In order to know our biorhythms, it's all about receptivity. What's needed now, and to me, it's a bit of an advanced ability. It's terribly natural and human to know what's needed now. But since we've spent at least hundreds of years pressed into false rhythms, it's often not that easy to switch over to what's needed now. Because the minute you take someone out of the straitjacket, all they know what's needed now is flop about. And when you've been under chronic tension for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, when what's needed now is tension release, tension release, tension release. And there may be a need for another kind of tension, but you won't be able to feel that because the system is being out of alignment with itself for so long. And then there are ways and means to put ourselves back into alignment, and they require death. Not necessarily physical death, but some kind of death, some kind of. And I'm really happy. It gets a bit confusing because the market is full of offers, like full, and everyone says my method is the method. But that too is all right. That too is part of the process of bringing back into the world really non-invasive, getting back in touch with your own body methods, lots of them, which end up empowering the individual. It brings us back to us, so that we can self-medicate, so that we can heal, so that we can be back in our own natural rhythms, open heart, healthy heartbeat, not dependent on someone else to just medicate a symptom that they don't even understand, because they just treat every symptom the same, not looking at the individual. Why are you displaying this symptom? You know? And that, to me, is self-love. And that is, there are a lot of people out there developing methods out of love for humanity, out of love for us as a collective, and out of a genuine desire that we are healthy, that we function well, because a love for one is a love for all. You know, a well-being of one is a well-being for all. It's wellness is, you know, balancing ourselves, and then we are able to hear what we need. We're able to provide what others need, because we're not constantly exhausted. We're not working a job where we're pressing people into taxation systems. And then, I mean, I wonder sometimes how people self-respect themselves when they're working in systems where, like, they're just extorting money from people, or doing things that inherently the system surely realizes what I'm doing is not natural, and it's not healthy, and it's not good by, yeah, but by whose standards? Yeah, who do you think you are, Tatiana? But when we move in towards coherence, and we are, because it starts with us. If you're not in coherence with yourself, forget about the rest. You may be in coherence with a very incoherent system. Who I don't know who's the father of the quote, or the mother of the quote, the red dragon of the quote. It's not a sign of mental health to be well adjusted in a fundamentally sick society. I don't know how that quote goes. You know, so it has to, and we have, and it's hard for a few individuals, and we've had these very, very strong individuals, and we ought to thank them. Just shout out to you guys, to anyone who's like walked this very difficult path to breaking open the paradigm, to start the adjustment process towards coherence, so that it becomes easier for the rest of us to follow 100 Monkey Syndrome. Eventually it will just tip over to the collective completely, and coherence will be very natural. And at the moment, if you don't know what that feels like with yourself or with others, it's not going to make sense to understand that the collective, the society, will function based on coherence. It's going to just be known. What common sense is going to be based on coherence. It's not what my mind thinks, and then I think this is better, and then you think something else, and therefore no, we're at odds with each other. Coherence means our bodies are they can sync. We can sync frequencies, and with that syncing of frequencies, coherence is not a mental exercise. As I said, this guy from this man, I should know his name. I'm sorry, disrespectful of me. I could look it up now. Okay, if you can, then do. Here, Yep, Sound of the Soul presentation by Rasmus Gaub-Berghausen. The link is in underneath yesterday's. Yesterday was the overtone moon. What am I going? Oh yeah, he says you can't. If you think heart open, I want to open my heart. He says the minute you do that, it closes. Actually, because now you're forcing your will on it. Right. Maybe that is why the sun is the antipode to the dog. But in as much as, like, my heart can probably not dictate to my head and say stop thinking, the cooperation between the two. And then the sun is not the eagle, but eagle, yeah, another story, earth family. As an aside, the earth family is in each wave spell, and they are always at the cross of each other. So sun, moon, the antipodes, and then halfway in between is eagle and serpent, each other's antipode. If you take the circle and you draw a cross through it, 90 degrees angle, that's the earth family. And if you shift that cross to the next one, to the next one, to the next one, the four each, they form the earth families. There's 5 of them. And in each wave, the earth families are always in an overtone pulsar, whatever that means now. I could explain, I won't, don't worry about it. But the wave spell itself, in this case serpent, tones 1, 6, and 11 are self-guided. The guide is the same tone as the day, and those 3 are out of the earth family, always in every wave spell. So the self-guided ones are, and 1, 6, and 11 is the earth family. And we move through our earth family through a 52-year cycle. Every birthday that you have, you cycle through your earth family in rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In my case, sun, serpent, dog, eagle, sun, serpent, dog, eagle, sun, serpent, dog, eagle. And the tones go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in 52 years, I have gone through each tone 4 times, each earth family 13 times, and each combination once. So I get to know my earth family intimately, really, really well, and I embody that sign and that tone for 1 year. So do you. Everyone does. Cosmic dog at the moment. I have been dog for 20 days. This is my 2nd dog in my cosmic dog cycle. So it's rhythmic now. 12, 6, 13, 7, 1, 8. That's the rhythm of just the same seal. And you can investigate along all of those lines and find the meaning. And what is meaning? Geometry, mathematics, geometry. The formation of crystals, of geometry. It's pure art, pure beauty. It's just gorgeousness. Anyway, so self-love, love, loyalty, heart, love, heart, the rhythms, the music, the orchestra, the symphony, the coherence between, for a healthy body, it has to have a healthy heart. And to be, what do we have? There's this child in the occult on tone 8 today. So the integrity of the child is very important to the healthy heart. The integrity of the inner child. The integrity of our own freedom, of our own innocence, of our own ability to explore, to be able to adapt adaptability, flexibility, all of that, imagination. And then we have the sun in the antipode, life, universal fire, life, enlightened life is the antipode, but without it, love serves life, life serves love. We need to work together here. Fire serves life. Death serves life. Life serves death. Whatever death is, it's just recycling, transformation, change. Change, that's what it is. Opportunity, equalizing opportunity. Death is opportunity for something new. And then we have the moon. Flow, universal water. So universal fire meets universal water through the dog, in love, in our heart. Both are needed in balance, and not rigid balance. Not, this guy tells us not one heartbeat ever is the same as any other, just like snowflakes. The heart variability is a sign of life. So there's the rhythm. To us, it's like tuk, 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 to a crude sense, that's like pretty rhythmic. But when you really measure tiniest speeds or spaces, it shows up that no time between one and another heartbeat, they're like never the same, never ever. When they start becoming very the same, then you're very close to death, to dying, physical death, to transitioning into a new opportunity, transitioning into a new state. Fear, we should talk about fear for a minute. Fear is the antipode of love. So how is that? How is sun? Sun is related to fear. The absence of light, the absence of love. Fear is like the inverse of dog, sun, moon, and monkey. Okay, fear blocks the flow. Fear blocks communication with spirit. Fear blocks love. Fear jams. Fear is like really the one and the only problem we have, I think, is fear, because it causes such a chain reaction. So often we can't even see it anymore. It's so natural to what we avoid. Our mind is so brilliant. Our systems, the instincts are so brilliant that in order to save energy, we automate things. That's why the storm is attached to the sun. Auto-generation, automation. I mean, you can't have to think about stuff. It needs to just happen. We need our resources for life, for other things. But if fear jams, and maybe it's the fear of change, the inability to change, control mechanisms gives us short lives because we can't do the updates, can't run the updates. Fear jams the updates. False information, lies about all kinds of things. I mean, we're clearing that up. Age of Aquarius, age of knowing versus the age of Pisces, age of believing. And isn't Pisces also representative for like ending? Something, big cycles, something ends. But Aries is the beginning. So how is this age of Pisces moving to age of Aquarius? How's that going backwards? Why is that going backwards from Pisces to Aquarius and then Capricorn before Aquarius? Are we moving that way around? Back counterclockwise? But either way, how to deal with fear. The ability to deal with fear, to understand it, to not be controlled by it, to understand what it is, how it works, and what it does to us, and how to meet it, deal with it, greet it, heal it, how to love it, how to love ourselves back into alignment, back into flow, to let the universal waters flow together with universal fire, passion. Passion can be, if passion is driven by fear, it's a different story. If passion is driven by love and balance, passion is a fire that definitely needs to be balanced, but without passion, I mean, everything just surely gets a bit drab, right? No? And not everyone is as passionate as others. We have different levels of how much passion we are able or capable of, and how much we need, how much we like, how much is good for us. And that's wonderful. If we all were the same, we wouldn't know who we are. Respect, self-respect, respect towards others. Respect is such a big deal. And respect isn't the kind of thing that you just force on someone. Because I am your teacher, you have to respect me. I kind of disagree with that. It's like, yes, in principle, but respect is a question of respect is based on respect. So you may be my teacher, but if you don't respect me, how do you expect me to respect you? That is, just because I'm much younger than you doesn't mean I don't deserve respect. Children deserve respect. And children, especially below the age of 7, I suppose, are like such clear mirrors. So if the adult does not respect themselves, or wherever they are, the child will mirror that. It will just reflect that. And then what does that adult do? It lashes out at the child because it can't handle the reflection. And if we could live in a world where we understand that, like, oh, thank you for showing me where I'm not respecting myself. Thank you for showing me where I'm not loving myself. Thank you for showing me where I'm not kind to myself. Because in a moment I want to be very unkind to you. Shut the fuck up. Leave my classroom. Why are you not sitting still? I mean, so much of the ADHS is like a clear reflection of our own repressed aliveness. So the kids are showing it triple dosed. Can't sit still because we are sitting still too much. It's so simple, it's so obvious. And then what do? Force them to become still like us. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, how much worse can it get? How, blind leading the blind is just, where is that going to go? How is that going to work out? Anyway. But if somebody who sees leads the blind, I mean, the blind now have to trust, right? And based on what are they trusting? If our base trust, the red dragon, has been disturbed, if we don't know how to trust, and that's the antipode of the blue monkey, the child, the playfulness. If we don't know how to trust, where do we go from there? And that is red serpent instincts. Your instincts know who to trust and how to trust. But if that is disturbed, not working appropriately, and children often distrust the adults because they often instinctually know, but then very frequently they meet disapproval or are getting forced into compliance one way or the other. And what does a child do? In order to maintain integrity, it can easily have to shut down the instinct, its own instincts, its own truth, its own integrity. It builds up a false integrity because it has to. I mean, I'm butchering this. I'm not very eloquent at explaining this right now. Oh, there are so many people right now in the world who are just wonderful to listen to about all this. If it's Gabo Mateo, so many people who explain this world to us and how it works and how the psyche works. And we can course correct, we can heal, and we're doing it collectively. I love that. I really do. So anyway, now I'm going on. I'm going to stop here. It's enough self-love, awareness, enlightenment. I'm going to play this tune. And I think I haven't read this doggy quote. Let's give this quote here. It's beautiful. I decide to balance my affections and trust the process of life. Organize, balance, equality. Okay, here comes the tune. I wish us all a balanced day, aware of our breathing, aware that we're in our own flow of life, hopefully rhythmically, dancing through the ups and the downs, shedding the tears as needed, laughing, and whenever needed, can we put our hands on our hearts and just love our life force, our heartbeat, our heart, for a minute, our ability to love, even if it might be quite hurt. May we be guardians of our love, not in terms of fortressifying, protecting our hearts, but guarding it and loving it. And may we be guarded by love and guided by love and guarded by our innocence, and keep the heart free, keep it open towards life and toward the pain that it may receive. Because when we don't allow that pain, that's what causes the rigid heart walls and the rigid artery crap and the building up of crap in the arteries. Like, you gotta let it flow. You gotta let it cleanse itself. Let the blood flow. Let the pain flow. Let love flow. When you grieve properly, when we grieve properly, for real, unencumbered, it's a cleansing process. It's a way to honor something, you know. Anyway, on a happy note. I don't want to be ending on a happy note. I don't want to end on a sad note. I want to be balanced, rhythmic. Light and dark, left foot, right foot, up and down, happy and sad, life and death, love and love. Sorry, there's no opposite to love, forget it. The absence of love, that's just an idea. But sometimes we have to experience an idea, right? So, may you be well and pleased with the rhythm of your flow. Something like that. See you tomorrow, I hope.